Ain't It That Good News is the song. And Ann and I have done this song, I think, at contests with our choirs. So when I ran across this, I thought, what a way to start the recital. And if you notice the name on the program, it's a new name for me to be highlighting, Marianne Kim. I ran across her at Lake Junaluska this summer, down North Carolina. And she's an organist that's from Korea that has great skills in jazz. She's a college professor teaching jazz. And in the Chicago area, she plays keyboard at Willow Grove, that mega church outside Chicago. And then in Chicago, she plays the organ at the Moody Bible Institute. They have their church services there. So she has brought Jim to some new chords that I'm inflicting on the congregation here at Central Trinity also. 2-chord is supposed to be the favorite chord, super tonic. So I'm trying to put that in once in a while. Anyway, the second song is an arrangement of Near My God to Thee by Marianne Kim also, and it will showcase the quieter sounds of the organ also. Well, all of my recitals always have some Bach on it. And this is really the little fugue in G minor by Bach. But it is not a little fugue as to difficulty. It's just a little fugue in duration. It won't be forever. I think one of the songs I played last year was 15 minutes long. This is not that length. But a fugue, every voice has to be played soprano, alto, tenor, bass between the hands and the feet. And so I couldn't decide on the page turner, so I'm going to have many sheets of music up here to play my favorite thing on the program today, Johann Sebastian's Bach Little Fugue in G minor. Well, next is a little variety now. Tyler Driggs, a former student of mine, has volunteered to be a part of the recital today. You notice the program says Jim McLaughlin and friends. My friends get nervous whenever I do a recital. Who's going to be volunteered? Tyler is a graduate of a music graduate of Otterbein University, and he has a teaching studio here in Zanesville and a church position in Columbus. And we're going to do several things for you. But first of all, it's an organ-piano duet. And so we'll see who wins on this, because we both have great fun with this. Lord of the Dance is one of the favorite hymns that was new in this last hymn book. Tells the story of Jesus' life, birth, death, and resurrection, and we'll try to show that in our music. Come on down, Tyler. started together and ended together. It's pretty good, yeah. Tyler is quite a composer also. And I've asked him to talk about his newest composition. That's on the menu today, young man.
He asked me to say something, so I'm going to say something. So I got into this this idea of taking a text that's very familiar and setting it to my own melody, which is not anything revolutionary that no one has done before, but I hadn't done it yet, so I thought, well, I ought to do that. Kind of my goal with this was to take, it's a poetic setting of 23rd Psalm, and I wanted to sort of give you different, almost variations within the entire composition. As best as I could, I gave you different variations. I do enjoy this text a lot. It's one of my favorite hymns. The hymn tune is pretty good. I just didn't quote it in this particular composition, so you won't be hearing that tune. But you'll hear my tune, which should hopefully be good. So.
It's a low budget production.
My King of love, my strength.
I heard this duet this summer, and I thought I need to find someone that'll play it with me. And Tyler volunteered. And we'll see who sets the tempo. We'll see. But have fun. We really enjoyed that. Well, among my other friends that like to volunteer for things, we start with Tyler has been teaching voice and piano for many years, and one of his voice students is Caitlin, used to be Thomas, now it's Caitlin Border, and her husband Michael Border are both graduates from Stingham University of Music. They're public school teachers, and they're musicians here at Central Trinity. And most of the duet books are written for high voice and low voice. But this duet book is written for two high voices. And they have two high voices, so I just thought, we've got to do this. So this is my favorite gospel hymn with a twist in it. Really nice. Thanks so much, Borders. Well, I figured there'd be some organists here today, and or some people that are curious about the organ. So I thought I would put two numbers on the program that were sort of complicated to figure out how to do. You have to use, in reality, the first number I'm going to play for, or the second number I'm going to play for you could be played on a 4-keyboard organ with fingers 2, 4, and 5 on one keyboard, thumb on the next keyboard. The next one would be the next keyboard down would be the thumb, and the other keyboard would be the 2, 4, and 5. We only have 2 keyboards, so I had to do a little improvisation how to make it happen. But there'll be times I'll be playing 2 different type things with the hands and the feet. So I hope you find the mechanical side of the organ, the fun of it all too, which is the first thing that drew me to the organ was the mechanics of it. But the actual pipes up there, it's just like blowing on a Coke bottle. It's just tooting your flute. It's a Coke bottle. Well, that last number you might know as a popular tune also, but the arrangement is Edwin Lemare. In the early America, he was considered one of the most famous musicians. Most every town had an organ in the town hall or in the theaters, and on Sunday afternoon people would come in for a concert. And he would have sold out concerts. You just came for the cookies probably, but sold out concerts. And to this day, there are organs on both the East Coast and West Coast that do that kind of thing. Balboa Park, I think, in California, and I have to think for a moment on the East Coast. My brain will come back to me a little bit, and I'll share that with you. But those were pretty ambitious things for me to try to do mechanically at the organ. I hope you've found that fun also. I did too. I put three numbers together here on the program that I want to do on the piano. And this July the 1st, this community lost one of its icons in music, Betty Lou Wilson. She passed away on July the 1st at age 103, and that was her birthday, 103 on July the 1st. And Betty Lou grew up in this community and went to Oberlin University, or it was Oberlin College, I guess, Oberlin College as a piano major. She played piano concerto with the Oberlin Orchestra. And from Oberlin, after she graduated, she headed off to New York City and did private tutoring on her piano there. Then came back to Zanesville and was at this church for 10 years, and then over at Grace Church for 20 years as church organist. When I came to this town in 1968, I did not know hardly anybody here. I was just trying to teach school. And I had a job offer for the Zanesville City Schools, and my dad says, take it. And so I took it. And I started out half day at Grover Cleveland Junior High School and half day at Theodore Roosevelt Junior High School. And in my first 2 years at Roosevelt, I had Betty Lou's daughter, Claudia, her youngest daughter in school. And Claudia was an okay musician, but her heart was really more in the Devilettes and that kind of thing when she got to Zanesville High School, the drill team side of things. But Betty Lou became my mentor. And I didn't know it for a while, but she kept suggesting things that, Jim, you need to do this. And Jim, I think this is the perfect thing for you to do. And I got to realize what a wonderful talent she is, and she's still in my ear at this point in time. And after her passing on July the 1st, the family gave all of her music to the Thursday Music Club. And her piano was given to a piano student of mine who just had a lowly keyboard to play on and now has a Betty Lou piano to play on and learn a piano instruction on. But when I sit down at the piano, I think of Betty Lou often. And so I'm going to put 3 pieces together as a tribute to her, and the first and third are actually her music. So I'm playing off Betty Lou's music. It's sort of like an Oreo cookie. I'm going to put something in between that's Jim. And so it'll be a gospel hymn in between. But On a Hill Far Away Stood an Old Rugged Cross is a song that's very personal and is often sung or played at a funeral. So I'll put that in also. So the first number is Bach. I need to do a Bach Invention. And so this is for Betty Lou. And the final number is, she grew up at 103 in the big band era, early days of the 20th century. And so Laura by Johnny Mercer, that doesn't really go on the program often, you would think about. So I'd like for you to think of Betty when I'm playing Laura. You will hear Laura in there. And as my tribute to Betty Lou Wilson. Well, you've been sitting very politely, and it's time for you to be a part of the fun also. So if you would open your hymnals to page 140, and if you're able, please stand up and sing all the verses of Great is Thy Faithfulness. And this time, I'm going to stay in the proper key. You can actually sing harmony along with me if you would like. Second verse will probably be a little softer. Third verse, you'll have to wait for me because I want to kick it up a step. And then we'll come in on the third verse. If you're able, upstanding, let's do it. Well, what a treat. You really know how to sing. You almost drowned out the organ, and I had the kitchen sink on there also, so that was lovely. Well, 9 minutes after 4. This has gone pretty well, hasn't it? We've made it almost to the end for the cookies. A couple of announcements. If you would like to see the inner workings of the organ, it's pretty easy to get into our organ chamber here. And Schroeder Dodds is going to lead that. We usually like you to come up to the console first, and he'll take you from there if you'd like to do that. And we'll save some cookies for you. But if you've been there, or because the organ is up here, these spots over here, that's just the console. So most churches you have to climb a ladder and pray. But this one we can walk right into the organ chamber, so that might be a fun experience for you. And the worship committee of the church has prepared some refreshments out here for all of you. And I'm going to tell you what a pleasure it is to have you here today. There was a little sun right after church this morning, and the trees were just popping today. This is probably the prime time to see the trees, and then of course it rains off and on in Ohio, you know. But it's been a treat to have you here. I am honored to be with you on this. I really was not going to do any more recitals. I did 25 as of last year, and then Betty Lou passed, and then in my ear I thought Betty Lou would say, Jim, remember I played recitals till I was 96. And I think Raney, you and Betty Lou did that at Brown Chapel at Muskogee University at the age of 96. So I thought, well, yeah, why not? And you came, so this is even more reason to do it. 27 or 28 years ago, the church rebuilt the pipe organ. This pipe organ is 99 years old. It'll be 100 next year. Started out in Parkersburg as a home organ in a mansion. And during World War II, this church needed a new organ, and there were no organ factories that were making organs. They were making things for the war. And but the person that had been servicing the organ says, I know of an organ that is needing a home. Whoever was in that mansion had passed away, and they were wanting to sell the house, and they needed to get rid of the organ. So the organ came here, and then 27 or 28 years ago, we decided to rebuild the organ. About every 40 or 50 years, you need to put some money into a pipe organ to take care of the perishable parts. Mostly leather is the main concern for the winding of the organ. And then we added some other things also, because it was built for a home, and it's in a big room. So we added a few things. So I thought that thank you I would give back to the church and to the community for all those people that donated money, because it was a little bit of money. And a dedication to the church music ministry also. I would thank you. How can you do it? Well, play a recital. That would be nice. And so we started that. And so I don't know. Maybe there'll be one next year also. You never know. But as long as I can find some friends that want to help out, that'll be good also. I do not charge you at all to come to the recital, but often I have a suggestion if you felt moved to do something with some money, what you might do. And I don't know whether you remember that all these windows have been improved in the last year here at Central Trinity. They started in 2022, and now in 2023, this last batch came back here. This sanctuary was built in 1888, and the windows, the stained glass windows, had not had anything done to them. And they were starting to need maintenance, and so this has been a major project for the church. And it's actually a 3-year project. It's going to come back around next year because we have a lot of small windows that will be done next year. And then all the windows will get new outdoor windows to protect the stained glass windows. So if you feel the urge to thank the church for allowing us to do this free event, I have a plate up here in front that as you come along, I'm hopefully you'll come up and say hi at the end. And Tyler needs to be up here also, and Border. Also, because we thank you so much for coming, and it's just been a privilege to play and sing for you, and then to hear you singing and competing with me. That was just lovely. So, but the cookies will be out there in the Welcome Center. The organ tour will start from the organ console here, and then the last 2 numbers I'd like for me to to put them together like I did the Betty Lou number. Both these numbers are arrangements by Frederick Swann. And Frederick has been a mentor, he doesn't know it, of me. I followed his career. I first ran across him at Riverside Church on the Upper West Side of New York City that the Rockefellers had pretty much purchased and put that organ. It's right next across the street from Grant's too. And Virgil Fox was the organist there when they built that church. And then Frederick took over from Virgil. And I've often, when I've been in New York, been fun to go and hear their choir and sing with the congregation with Frederick. Frederick became the president of the American Guild of Organists and passed away last year. But you might have run across him on television because the last part of his life he was at the Crystal Cathedral in California. And the Crystal Cathedral is still there. It's now the Catholic Church now. It's called Christ Cathedral. But before it was, who was the? Robert Schuller. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Robert Schuller. And been there many times for services and recitals. And so Frederick, one of the challenges being on television as an organist, that he was nearly bald when he got there, and they made him wear a toupee because the organ is right here, and they didn't want that causing a visual problem with the lights and the camera or whatever. So Robert had to wear a toupee at the Crystal Cathedral. The organist had many assignments from time to time. But also he was expected to write and create some small things. You know, television and radio, time is very important, so you can't have the long pieces of music. And so I have 2 hymn encores that Frederick wrote for the Crystal Cathedral. And if you've ever been there, or you've noticed on television, the organ is actually in 2 halves. Half is up here and half is back there. But there are trumpets all the way around the room, so you can echo trumpets all the way around on the organ. And we have 1 trumpet here, so I'm going to have trouble making all the trumpets sound. But I'll try to give you a hint of the Crystal Cathedral. And then thanks again so much for coming. It's been a treat for me, and I hope you've enjoyed it also.